There's a quiet place that I have earned access to in my mind. I was born from a void of pure consciousness. In the beginning, gentle peace was all that I knew. Then all the necessary tragedies of life began, layer upon layer of separation added. I grew this strange thing called identity that was perfectly conditioned and assimilated. This world so quick to help me forget how infinite I am. With time, that quiet stillness was taught to become invisible. Beyond invisible, it was taught to disappear entirely. In its place, I grew new, seemingly useful tricks of deception. I learned how good instant gratification felt. I learned how comforting it was to distract my restless mind. I learned that this was normal and necessary to survive. When one distraction lost potency, there was always another waiting to be employed. Waiting and craving and pointing to all the reasons outside of myself that justified my misery and ceaseless activity. Years became decades of this waiting and striving for fulfillment. It will come one day if I can just get enough attention, or maybe another car that's better than the one I already have, or surely a house will be that thing that finally makes me feel complete. And I watched my life being exchanged for empty promises. Each one hurt a little more than the last. The emptiness of each new possession or milestone became painfully clear, because I would get these things and no sooner would my mind find a new fixation, greater and more promising than the last. Pain became despair, which dissolved into anger, and finally I mustered the courage to take a glimpse inside. Just a peek, because it hurt to look for long. It hurt to gaze inward and realize just how unrecognizable my inner landscape had become. I began facing the shame that accompanied each look inside. I began questioning who was under these layers. I began to question most things, and I remembered how good it feels to cry. I met a being that had no words but spoke through light. This being was patient and still, was disciplined and honest. This being had such a compassionate love that somehow I knew it was incapable of judging me. This being was called self-love. The more I spent time with this being, my external world began to take new shape. That fulfillment that was so fleeting alchemized itself as I grew new ways of sensing the world within and around me. My eyes began seeing beauty from a mere look. Ears could now hear love solely by listening. All my senses became enriched with this ability to experience life from a clearer lens. This was not a unique or especially singular achievement. This light being, called self-love, simply taught me how to be a clear channel for one source, how to witness the universe expressing itself through this vessel that I call Amani. The self-loving being that I am could never have gone anywhere, because I am as eternal as the space within which all of the stars shine. There is a quiet place that I have earned access to in my mind.